This is called a gear tie. And this thing here is going to help you improve those pitches, chips, the consistency of spin, the loft delivery, the speed of the club head, all that. I'm telling you, this is going to help you solve that mystery and create some consistency. Now, this is one of them, and this is the other one when I've twisted it up and I've set it the way I want. Now, what I've got is I've got a little prong coming out of here, and it's going to help with the angle of my right wrist. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about what we've got coming on over here. I've set this up so that when I make a backswing, my hand will hit this. And when my hand hits this, I want to keep my hand, the back of my hand, touching that all the way through. Okay? So, when you make a swing, short shot, there's nothing is touching this. You're only moving this a little bit. It's maybe moving a quarter of an inch. Now, when you get to where you're hitting these shorter shots, what I see happen is on a 40-yard shot, you take the club back, you don't really move your body, you don't let your wrist set, you just move your arms across your body like this, and then you throw this angle in your wrist here. And so you deliver an inconsistent loft to the shot. So while the club traveled 40 miles an hour on that, we'll look at this because this is going to be interesting. So that club traveled 40 miles an hour. The ball traveled the same speed, 40 miles an hour. The launch angle was at 37 degrees, so the ball landed at 30.7, so call it 31, rolled out a couple of feet, but the apex on that was 20. Now, that's all the information. But what you saw there was I delivered a ball speed and a club head speed that were the exact same, basically. The ball speed might have been a fraction lower, half a mile an hour lower than the club head speed. What I want you to do is I want you to deliver a consistent loft to that ball here so that when this ball leaves, it's fractionally faster than the club head speed. Okay? And what happens is when you take this club back and you keep this trail wrist position in here, you're not adding any loft. So here and there. And now when I hit that shot, that one flies the distance that I want. But come on up here and just look at this, because this is different. Yes, I know it went a little bit farther. I get it. Not really paying attention so much. But club head speed was at 44. Ball speed is now at 47. Fractionally faster. And then you look at the vertical launch of this, and it's 26.6. I want these to be under 30. Now, you don't need to know what 30 looks like. You just need to know that in your mind, you're trying to hit it lower. And as you start hitting it lower, that's when all of a sudden it's going to get under 30, okay? Well, what controls that loft? The easiest way to control the loft is by keeping the angle of your wrist the same from the start of the downswing to impact. If that wrist angle changes and you add, now all of a sudden you add loft on this, like that other one, and that's what I did there. I added the loft to it, and all of a sudden, let's see what happens with this. That is wild. So they're almost identical. This is 44.5 miles an hour of club head speed. The ball speed was at 46. So marginally slower. But look at the difference in the launch angle. 32.4. That's 6 degrees. Now, look at backspin. Backspin came down. Apex went up. Descent angle went up. All those things go up. That flew 40, rolled out 5. But I got there differently. I chucked it up into the air. And if I get one that has a little less loft or a little more loft, I get a little different speed, I get a little different spin, all of a sudden I get a lot of inconsistencies, which is exactly what you're getting. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about the angle that you get in your wrist. Now, you're not going to practice with a thing like this, but this will help you. The gear tie, you wrap it around the wrist, you create these prongs, and then you just get used to them touching and staying in touch. So touch, stay in touch. And now that one comes out. That ball speed there, the club head speed was 42. The club was 42. So almost identical. But the key to this one is Look at the consistency of the vertical launch. That was at 26 before, and now it's at 26 now. And why is it the same? Because I delivered this the same. So while the club head speed went down 42 instead of 44 and change, the launch angle was identical. And that's where you want your head to be. You want to deliver consistent launch angles. See if I can do this again. This one comes out. Again, I was a little bit faster, so I caught look at the launch angle, 26. It's almost identical. Spin rate went up. The ball speed is now a little bit higher, fractionally higher than the club head speed, 43 to 47. So fractionally. What happens when you start to do this is you're going to start getting this more in the center of the club face. Man, I'm telling you, this has, and I'm not kidding you, like I've said, this is the year of the wedge, year of the short game. This has changed my short game. All I think about now is when that thing gets there, it just gets there, and I just keep it there. And I don't even know I don't know how much that thing is bending. I don't know. I just know that it gets there. I got that a little bit thin. It gets there, it stays there. But when I got it thin, check it out. We got the same thing. The launch went to 23, so it's not up in the 32s. You will never get this thing to where it gets up into the 30s. That's another one that's trapped out there. That spin is huge. Look at the spin on this. Again, a little bit of a miss at 23 again. Look at the spin on that, 6,300. I could do this all day. You've got to get the feeling that when this club goes back, that wrist is setting. I don't want you to set it so that the club faces open up to 2. I want you to set it so it's down just a little bit. It doesn't have to be absolutely parallel to the ground, but the leading edge should be no more than a 45-degree angle. And then all you're doing is you're keeping that this trail hand is pushing. The spin is going to be way up. Look at that thing stop. 6,200, 44. The launch angle on that is 25.5. So what you're seeing is you're seeing some consistencies in the delivery, and I'm not adding any lofts. Let's just add one just for fun here. So in here like this, I added that one, chucked that one way up into the air. Okay, so here you go. So this is fun. So now, and what's interesting about this is sometimes you're going to get more spin, sometimes you're going to get less spin, sometimes you're going to get a higher launch angle. So the one that I left before, that launched at 32. This is 33.8, so almost the same. But the spin rate, look at this thing, went up to 7,200. Look at the club head speed, went up to 52. The ball speed is still at 48, so the distance is virtually the same, but it gets there so totally different. And so you don't have time to practice all this because sometimes you're going to deliver, this is a 53-degree wedge. Sometimes you're going to deliver it with 60 degrees of loft. Sometimes you're going to deliver it with 55. Sometimes you're going to deliver it with 47 because of what you're doing. There's too many variables. There's too much inconsistency. Set the angle of the trail wrist, transport that same angle coming in there, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring the same loft to the ball. It's going to leave with a similar ball speed. It's going to leave with a similar launch angle and a similar spin rate, and all of a sudden, you're going to feel like these shots that have been so daunting for you are so much easier. Give it a try. I know it's going to help you out. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.